Good morning, everybody. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're going to start a little bit later today. Had made my list yesterday, but I changed a few things. I wanted to check in some stuff and see if it was really what I wanted to do. And so I made several changes, and I've come up with the new series that we're going to be running this week and for the month actually, and also for the mini series for the Tuesday. The only thing I haven't done is come up with what I'm going to do for the live stream this week. I decided I wanted to think about it for a bit. So for those of you who are new, I have a cough. No, in actual fact, for those of you who are new, what we do on this show is I basically give you kind of the list of what the channel is going to be showing on the regular shows for the week and the series that we're running. So the regular shows are usually, again, Sunday to Saturday, whatever shows that normally come in their slots, I'll be talking about those. Then the series, the one that we're currently running for this month, we'll also be talking about the new one because the first one will come out next Saturday for the new series for next month, for March. And also, if there's anything in the past that I wanted to correct. So we'll start with the past first because I always like to clear the past before I move on to the future. Nothing really outstanding to say other than a number of the shows were a bit late, but that's become almost normal now because I've been sick and my job always interferes with everything pretty much. Anyways, I do apologize if they come out a little bit later, but I try to get them all out if I can. I don't think I canceled anything this week, which was good. So I'm up to a full list again, I think, especially with the new show. So we'll get underway with it. So the first show, of course, is this one this week. This usually comes out first during the week, although oftentimes there is a episode from the series for the week. The series we're running for the month that comes out early in the morning, but I don't consider that part of the beginning of the week. This is the show that starts it off. So this week is episode number 133, and we'll be running from February the 23rd through to March the 1st. Nothing unusual here. This will probably come out a little bit later, but I like to get it out by noon, but oftentimes it comes a little bit later, sometimes quite a bit later, depending on how much research I got to do. So the next show that comes out, which is also on the same day, Sunday, is called Commonalities Compared. This is the episode in which Ben, a subscriber of mine, gives me a couple of items that are similar, have something in common with them. Rock items, of course. They could be two bass players, could be two drummers, could be two bands, could be two genres, could be all kinds of things. So the commonalities given me this week are two glam rock bands. Most people are very familiar with this one, Kiss. I chose the Destroyer album, maybe considered their biggest studio album. And they'll be going up against the New York Dolls. Well, not up against, but the commonality will be compared between the two bands. The Kiss, of course, has taken some direction from the New York Dolls. They followed them a bit. So we'll be doing those two for the commonalities compared. So that will come out Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, all of this stuff too. So the next show that comes out on Monday. This is Monday night's look back at a classic rock album. Now, I forgot to take the album off of the... Yeah, I can actually see it. I'll just grab it. Yeah, I forgot it. It was the one album I forgot to grab in my stack here. I think I just skipped over that. So the album we're going to be doing for the look back at a classic rock album will be Jethro Tull's Catfish Rising. This is currently in my playlist. It's been up there almost 5 months now. Not quite, but getting close. And decided it's an album I like, so we're going to do that. This one has quite a few extras on it as well, and we're going to talk about this album for a look back at a classic rock album, and that will be out on Monday at 8 o'clock. The next show up is on Tuesday. This is the new mini series. So we finished the other mini series maybe 2 weeks ago, and I didn't do anything last week because I wasn't up to it, and I wanted some time to prepare it. So this was an idea by Ben. I've actually done something similar to this before. I'm just trying to remember what it was called. I can't remember, but it wasn't a mini series. It was more of I think it was a favorites episode where I picked 5 bands that had big changes in their history. This is kind of like that. This mini series will be called Serious Changes. That's what we're going to call this one. And we're going to start with this band, Rush. Now, these are going to be the basic 2 albums I talked about, but Rush didn't change dramatically overnight. It was a process, and I think it probably started with Permanent Waves, although it continued to grow until it got to Moving Pictures, and then it started the big change, which began here and kind of transformed into this album. So we're going to be talking about that this week for the first episode of this mini-series, Serious Changes, which is what we're calling it. So I've picked out six bands for this, so we'll do a 6-part episode. Next up is my favorites, which I did mention that I was going to do ranking the songs off an album. I decided to pick one of the albums from one of the guys that I kind of put a knock on last week when I said albums that I think were kind of stinkers. So I chose an album from his discography. This time I'm choosing one from his discography again that I think is almost at the opposite end of the spectrum. So this is Neil Young and Crazy Horse, Rust Never Sleeps. We're going to rank the songs off of this album. I like this album a lot. It's one of my favorite Neil Young albums. So I want to give him some good back there. So that will come out Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And the mini-series that I talked about, the Serious Changes, that will come out Tuesday at 8 o'clock. So next up is Big Surprises. This is the show that we alternate every second week with Not What We Hope For. So this week we're doing Big Surprises. This is an album that I knew I would like. I just didn't think it would be a smash of that I would actually fall in love with this album quite a bit. And that's Marillion's Childhood. Misplaced Childhood. Sorry, I keep wanting to say Arthur C. Clarke's Childhood's End, but of course that's not related to this at all. So anyways, that's the album we're going to be doing for Big Surprises, Thursday at 8 o'clock. Friday at noon, we will have our new albums purchased. I have some now. I will be going out after this video is uploaded and going down to my favorite store to look to see what might possibly also add to that. Like that, a couple anyways. I'm waiting on a couple of albums that are new releases for next month. Hopefully I'll get some updates on those as well. So then that will come out at 12 o'clock on Friday afternoon. The next show up is a live stream, which we do Friday nights at 8 o'clock into the Prog verse. I have not chosen a topic yet this week. I decided I would wait a little bit. I wanted to think about it. And so that show will come out Friday at 8. Hopefully my voice is getting better each day and I'll be able to keep myself from coughing spasms. Next up, What's New? Coming out Saturday. I've actually got the wrong time here. It's supposed to be Saturday at 8 p.m. I wrote down Saturday at 12 p.m., but I'm wrong there. So Saturday at 8 p.m. we'll be doing an episode called What's New. I've chosen the band Toy Weather. The album is called Feathers in a Strange Wind. This is a progressive rock album. I forgot to mark a note of where the band is from. I believe they're Canadian. Oh, they might not be actually. I think I skipped the Canadian band. So these could be English, possibly English band. Anyways, that's the band and that's the album we're going to be doing for What's New this week. And then, of course, after that, that's it for the regular shows for the week. The other stuff we'll be doing is the series, of course, that we're going to continue to do. My 28 albums that have a kind of a love theme or hearts on the album cover somewhere. This week we have the final 4 albums in that. Got some good albums coming out. I think you're going to enjoy it. A couple of albums I put in here this week and took out a couple I decided I didn't want to do. Actually, I had one empty spot, so I put one of the albums in one of the empty spots, and then I removed another album, put one of the other ones that was suggested in here as well, because I think it's a better album and maybe more enjoyable. So there's a couple of those, but most of them have been on here for a bit of time. So we're going to be doing that for this week. We got 5 episodes still to do, and I hope that this has been a bit of an enjoyable series. It's been a different series than anything I've done in the past, because a lot of these albums I don't own and wasn't really familiar with, so I had to listen to them and then kind of give a kind of expose on them. I tried to keep it short, though I didn't want to go too in depth on it. So, and then the next series that will come out for March will start this week as well on the Sunday. No, on the Monday. It'll start on the Saturday, sorry. This is my favorite 31 bands with, I forgot what my topic was now. I can't remember the topic. I wrote it down and then I left it somewhere. So anyways, that series will run for March. It'll start on the 1st. And as soon as I remember what the topic was, I'll get back to you. I think it was the one, I believe it. Yeah, I remember now. So the topic is going to be those bands that had 2 albums released in the same year. I'm going to give you my top 31 favorite. Is it 31 in March? Yeah, 31. 31 favorite albums or bands with 2 albums in a single year. And there's lots of them, tons of them. So it's going to be actually a narrowing down process this time. I'm going to try to put them in some semblance of order too, so that you kind of have my least favorite through to my most favorite albums, or both most favorite combination or 2 albums that came out that year. Anyways, I think you kind of get it, and I'll give a lot more of an in-depth discussion on that when we get to the first episode, which of course will be this Saturday. So I promise that slip of my brain. I wrote it down. I thought I wrote it on here, but I must have wrote it on another piece of paper. Anyways, I hope you will show up throughout the week. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of the shows. Hit the like and subscribe. That's much appreciated. And if you want to make comments about any of the shows, you are more than free to do so in the comment section below. This is the part that I probably enjoy the most, is getting feedback from people. There's several types of feedback. I like the feedback where people will suggest an album and we discuss it, or they may say something about the group I didn't know and we can have a discussion about that. Sometimes they're a bit critical, like, well, yeah, you missed that part, you missed this part. That's fine too. I don't have a problem with criticism. People can criticize me if they like. The only thing I don't like is name calling. That kind of shuts me out. So if I get too much of that, I just remove you, and that's the end of it, right? So I don't like to go on about that, so I won't, but just so that you know that that's why I do what I do. Anyways, I look forward to seeing most of you throughout the week, as we will be discussing quite a bit of stuff here this week. So take care and have yourself a good day, good afternoon, and good evening, and we will see you tomorrow with another episode. Actually, we'll probably see you tonight with commonalities compared. So take care and have a good one. Goodbye.